Northern was created to provide access to higher education to people across northern Montana. Today, we want to share with you where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. In the early 1900s, access to higher education did not exist in northern Montana. The Highline communities rallied and formed a school in 1929 that came to be known as Northern Montana College.
My father's family, there was 10 kids in the family, and they were all born a little bit before the Depression. My grandfather managed to send 5 of the 10 to Northern in 1935. We've got a picture of the family that made it all the way to the Chicago Times. It provided access.
Technical programs became a strong part of Northern's offerings in 1945 when the first industrial arts building was constructed. In 1953, the current automotive building was added to Northern's campus for a cost of $145,000 and is still serving the campus to this day. During the 1960s and 70s, Northern experienced tremendous growth, adding 8 buildings to its campus. Northern became known throughout the state for its teacher education and nursing programs. Today, MSU-Northern is a 4-year university located in beautiful Havre, Montana, just 30 minutes north of the Bears Paw Mountains, with access to world-class hunting, fishing, and other outdoor activities. Havre is the heart of a vast rural agricultural region known as the Golden Triangle, with the oil sands to the north and the Bakken to the east. It is a transportation hub for Amtrak, BNSF's Northern Line, and a General Electric rebuild center. The Northern Montana Hospital provides access to health care to rural communities across north-central Montana.
When I assumed the role of chancellor here at MSU-Northern, one of my longtime friends, Jim Longan, called to congratulate me, and he says, I'm only going to say one thing to you. He says that the most important thing that you can remember is to figure out who you are as an institution. And when you figure it out, you go do it.
Northern's programs continue to grow and change in response to the needs of industry, and our hands-on approach prepares graduates for jobs that are in high demand.
Well, I chose Northern because they have this really interesting Ag Operations Technology program, which was different than most ag programs I've seen at any other schools. So I actually grew up in Southern California. I was working in Lewistown, Montana, and I was looking at the various agriculture programs across the nation, but also locally. Northern's program appeared to be the most broad-based program that I could find that had a really interesting application of hands-on, but also science as it relates to agriculture.
Northern is the driving force behind Montana's apprenticeship programs, managing the related training requirements for thousands of apprentices across the state.
Being here, married for a second marriage, and I have 2 children, my wife has 2 children, and the circumstances say that we can't go anywhere. Having a place that, in my situation, to go, get re-educated was phenomenal. Getting into this program has been a really positive experience for me. I already have a job lined up for when school ends in June.
The nurses that we get out of the 2-year program at Northern meet the needs of the rural community. First of all, most of the nurses that come to us and the Northern program are from our area. They're long-term supporters and they're going to live in our area for a long time. But without the 2-year program at Northern, most of the Highline communities would not be able to offer the healthcare services they offer.
I came to Northern because it was the closest to home. As a student, soon-to-be teacher, I've had some great examples of who and what students need. They have given me the foundation, the tools to better my community.
A superintendent in a rural school district on the Highline in Big Sandy, we face the difficulty every year of recruiting quality teachers. Currently, over 50% of my certified teaching staff are graduates from MSU-Northern. This is where I got to get my teachers, if I'm going to keep them.
I've been here at Northern for a long time, and through all of those years, we've gone through tons of planning. I've got my name on a number of those strategic plans that we've done over the years and decided that it was time to start doing things instead of talking.
Tomorrow, we are breaking ground on our new Diesel Technology Center, which will meet the needs of our growing diesel program. Thanks to the help of our corporate and legislative partners, this 32,000 square foot building is becoming a reality.
One of the things I noticed when I first came to campus was the ATC building that houses Hensler Auditorium, and we've done some student presentations in there. Attached to that is the shop with the dyno, a place where you can see that students would really get excited about learning. We all have to work hard, to give the prospective students a reason to want to go there. And I really think this building is going to do that.
I went to Portland Community College. I moved there right after a couple of years being back home after I got out of the Marine Corps. I remember hearing about MSU-Northern. I sold everything other than what could fit in my Montero and drove here. This place had the best reviews. The companies that hire from here and are partners from here are all companies that I really wanted to work for. I met my wife while I've been here, and currently now I have a full-time job with GE Transportation. I came here with just a single and a dream, and I ended up married with kids and working for the 9th largest company in the world.
Northern's 4-year diesel program is unique in the fact that it combines diesel technology with a business component, giving our graduates the additional skills they need to work in management positions and move vertically.
Access to a high-quality education is probably the single most determinant of success of any individual in life. For the foundation then to get involved, even though we generally don't do capital campaigns, because of the graduates were such high quality and because it was so consistent with Dennis and Phyllis's philosophy of giving kids the tools to succeed for a lifetime, all those things that our companies need, both not only at Modern Machinery, at Montana Resources, at Montana Rail Link, and Envirocon, for us to be involved in was a very easy decision for the board.
We're super excited about the project that we're working on right now with our Diesel Technology Center. I'm reminding people that we don't eat there, we don't sleep there, and we don't recreate there, and that we have to do more for our students in those areas.
Northern is now exploring several new initiatives that will provide even greater access and enrich the lives of our students. Northern serves 5 Native American reservations and has the highest percentage of Native American students of any university in the Montana University system. This fact helped Northern receive a $1.9 million grant to launch the Little River Institute, designed to help us meet the needs of our Native American students.
The Little River Institute is about building relationships with our tribal communities, our tribal families, tribal colleges, and area high schools and communities. So essentially, the Little River Institute is building a bridge between those families and communities and Montana State University Northern. We're building capacity so that we can develop these relationships and eventually have a Native American Culture Center on the campus of Montana State University Northern.
Another important initiative for Northern is the renovation of Hagner Science Center. The center is Northern's top priority for long-range building and planning and will meet the expanding needs of our nursing and allied health programs.
Today's healthcare depends on a wide variety of well-trained personnel to be able to take care of the public. We did a needs assessment in this area and discovered there was a big demand for nurses and allied health professionals. Northern took the challenge. We stepped up to the plate. Besides participating in the statewide ASN and RN to BSN curriculums, we also are pursuing a variety of programs in allied health. In order to do this expansion, however, we do need adequate space and facilities.
At the heart of every college experience is student life. One potential enhancement to student life, a new on-campus football stadium. Northern currently shares the Havre High School's Blue Pony Stadium. Northern is researching a new facility to be built in phases as funding becomes available. When the facility is finished, it will also provide a much-needed events center for Havre and the Highline. Thank you for this opportunity to share who we are and where we are going. Northern is proud to continue providing access to an education that works.